drug. I couldn't stay messy on it. I hadn't had a cigarette in 6 hours, hadn't eaten. So, abstemious and tidy? What was this? A drug for people who wanted to be more anal retentive? I wasn't high, wasn't wired, just clear. I knew what I needed to do and how to do it.
Unlock the power within. In a world where potential knows no bounds, one man discovers the ultimate key to success. Witness the transformation, unleashing the full potential of his mind. Eddie Mora defies all odds, but with great power comes great danger. Dive into the mind-bending journey of Limitless. Experience the extraordinary. Watch Limitless now.
I see everything, Carl. I'm 50 moves ahead of you and everybody else. What makes you think I don't have a guy with a beat on you right now? How do you know you're gonna be alive this time next year?
What are you doing? You get your hands off me. What are you?
Something's pumping a half mass in there. Walls of your heart are dilated. Aortic valve stenosis. You're gonna need to get that replaced. But you already knew that. You know, you should really be glad about this. Because me working for you, you'd end up as my bitch.
Now imagine a book inspired by this movie. How do you think it will go? Imagine also that the inspired book is nothing like the movie but a sci-fi. Where do you think that imagination would take you? Well, you need not imagine it anymore. You just need to read the book. Let me read a little from it for you. The accident that took my life was how I thought it all started. But oh boy, was I ever wrong. No, it started a very long time before that. Long before I was born. I, who have lived now for almost a century. And yet I am considered quite young. So, how do I tell you the story? Where do I even start? They first arrived around 1 million years ago. At that time, mankind was just discovering that fire burns and that sticks and stones can be used as weapons. They came at a time when mankind did not know that it was human. They came at a time when humanity did not know there was anything called knowledge. They came with knowledge, and they gave it freely, at least the first ones did. They taught us and mentored us for a millennium. They taught us construction where we lived under trees. They taught us astrology to map time and locate places. They taught us farming to collect food and domesticate both plants and animals. Back then, the earth wasn't as populated, and man only stayed in Africa, but they taught mankind to tame the seas and the oceans with the small crafts that they taught him to build, and build them he did. Even if just to get to the waters to fish, which we did not even realize we could do before now. The odd thing about all of this is that our teachers didn't go anywhere near the waters. In learning to catch fish and all the such water stuff, we had to wing it. But with knowledge acquired winging, it wasn't that difficult. They left for a while, and then they returned some 100,000 years later to find that basically all they taught mankind. He didn't learn to improve on, but instead he had been fighting and killing himself. So they decided he's no wiser and may not be a problem to them. When they returned the second time, they came with equipment to move more of the resources they need, and had discovered was very good and abundant on Earth. They also had scientists in their group whose main aim was to make new projects, especially suits that will help them resist their most common enemy on planets as rich as this one in the major resource they need. It's been found that any planet that has that major resource also has their worst enemy, plenty. For this reason, the most strategic location to build a base on Earth was the desert, which is nowhere near what we see today as they were just places that did not have much bodies of water crossing them then. They have no problem with the heat. It's just the other side that they can't deal with. They had been on Earth for a few centuries and had gotten themselves settled in on Earth, and their work was going on well without any disturbance of any kind. The indigents or earthlings they found could be easygoing, wouldn't hurt who doesn't harm them, and generally won't mind them. Most of them, at least. And maybe because there were still minor scuffling amongst them, or they've just settled amongst themselves with the conqueror, they were no longer fighting, and seemed at peace with everyone, as well as the alien newcomers. Oh, you think this is confusing, don't you? Never mind. This isn't where I should have started. Let me instead start from where it will make some sense to you, where it might be more familiar to you. Remember to like, share, add a comment, and subscribe for more.